And we are back. Thank you for sticking with us on this break. I'm South Beach, joined by Bars the Journey, and we got Wichita State University versus Fairfield University here on our second match of this EGFC tournament.
Yeah, man, and I'm primed and ready to see some more gameplay. And yeah, it looks like they're in button checks right now. And are you familiar with the first two players that are coming up?
So looks like Geonosis is first for Wichita State, and I believe Geonosis is the Bowser player, pretty solid Bowser player that is also the captain of Wichita State as well. As for Jerry for Fairfield, I haven't yet to commentate on a Fairfield game, but let me see who we have. Jerry. I don't know what Jerry plays as. Maybe Joker, but I'm not sure.
I actually think Jerry is a Joker. Yeah, I think you're right. I think Jerry is a Joker.
It says it says on their media day notes they have 3 Jokers, so pretty confident in that.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, okay. Well, we have a Banjo.
Banjo and Kazooie player, so the other DLC. But right now, this is a button check. Our first 2 players are Geonosis and Jerry. Fairfield, Jerry. Geonosis, Wichita State. Now let's see who's going to win this battle of the button checks here. Yeah. Both players surviving the ledge.
Yeah, and I always like watching Bowser's. I know people talk about that Bowser's big and stuff, but Bowser is a character that could he hits really hard. Also, he has very good out of shield options. Command grab, frame 6 on the ground and in the air. That's disgusting. And yeah, I feel like all around is like always a solid character to watch. It's always interesting to see how Bowser's open up players.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, definitely one of those characters. I think if I made his first appearance in Melee.
Yes.
Melee.
Yeah, it's Smash 2. Smash 2, yeah.
Gotcha. And was quite a terrible character.
Yes.
In those games. Then in Brawl was a little bit better, but not much improvement, in my opinion. And Jerry's Terry, by the way.
Hello? Okay.
And then now we have Bowser in Ultimate, fast forward, and he's a pretty solid character to use.
Yeah, and fighting game characters against Bowser actually can be pretty rough for Bowser because they usually combo Bowser to oblivion. If we can see this combo game coming out from Jerry, but if not, then it could still not be too bad for Bowser because they do have the edge in edge guarding.
Yeah, and Terry has some pretty solid combos, but fortunately not going to be able to use it right there, as Geonosis gets the first lead here, first stock over Fairfield, and wow, just a great up smash to take it out.
Yeah, and that up smash, it has, I forgot what it's called. It is not super armor, but it has an armor on it, and yeah, he has invulnerability, and it's always pretty devastating. It hits really hard a lot of the time. So yeah, I mean, good stuff by Geonosis.
Great zoning read from Geonosis here to survive. Oh, if he went for the platforms, possibly could have taken a stock from Jerry here. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Right now, Geonosis is popping off here. Not to mention, with 162, dangerous and kill potential here, but at full rage Bowser's not someone you want to mess with.
Oh, and I actually think that they went for the jab block, but they got the dash attack instead. Pretty fortunate stuff for Jerry. And getting that jab up B, right, true input, so it's a charge down up motion. Good stuff by Jerry. But man, you're down by a lot. He has to get something started immediately.
Absolutely. The edge is not going to be the best possible way to fight. Now the One thing I like about Terry that a lot of people don't use is that the back special where he does the flip kicks right there. That one.
Yeah, the crack shoot.
Crack shoot. That's a pretty good, solid move from Terry. Able to like break any moves that anyone's trying to bust out at you, and able to break.
Yeah, it's a
those
good zone breaking move. Yeah. Yeah, but I just feel like right now it's just he's getting called out for a lot of the stuff that he's doing from the ledge. I feel like some of his ledge habits are getting read pretty hard. Especially those up Bs, right? And like even though the thing about Terry, even though Terry's feet on the true up B, his feet are intangible. But the thing about it is, right, Bowser's two frame with the forward tilt is like always pretty tough to deal with, especially when Bowser's know the timing for that, right? I feel like sometimes you could probably stall a little bit on that recovery if you're Terry.
Absolutely. A lot of it was just Bowser pressuring him to the ledge and then using the down B try to get back on the stage. Really wasn't going to work because Bowser able to just catch him with the flame breath, especially right here. And then just the great little jab right there from Bowser to seal this off. 2-0 in this first game here. And let's see, our bands are going to be Final Destination, Smashville, and Yoshi's. So pretty much potentials, I would say, are PS2 again, or even Battlefield, or Town and City.
Yeah, Town. Yeah, that makes sense. Now I feel like in a matchup like that, I don't know if they're going to switch characters, but even as Terry, it's definitely double-edged sword to take Bowser to Town, because Bowser can use those platforms, especially for a side B, to his advantage. Get early kills off those top side platforms very easily. Even edge guard, going pretty deep off the ledge with forward air, right? Big range move. But we'll see how Jerry can use this to advantage, and maybe take Geonosis to another game.
Let's see. Yeah, those platforms are like, basically giving Bowser a little boost of like basically a 5-hour energy. And it's almost got
red again.
Just that 96-17, and now rising. But either way, yeah, this is a pretty good stage for Geonosis to rock. And wow, only 30 seconds it took for him to take the first stock in this match.
Yeah, and I feel like Jerry just needs to clean up the up B heights, right? Because they're doing the rising tackle and they're going to the ledge pretty high up. And then I feel like Jerry definitely panicked and tried to do a get up attack and got punished for it with the forward tilt. So I feel like just recovering and clean that up a little bit.
Good move. Out of shield with the up B. Such a deadly use of out of shield with Bowser right here. And now we're seeing a little bit of back and forth action. Here comes Jerry with a few moves. There's that rising tackle. Still not going to be enough to take out Bowser. And just flame breath, pressure and shield.
Yeah, and Jerry tried to empty land and bait the out of shield punish, but Geonosis just up being out of shield, not caring.
Definitely a really good kill percentage for Geonosis, so if Jerry just finds an opening to possibly do a little smash attack, or right there, rising tackle always works as well, and now it's even stocks.
One thing that we have not seen so far in the set, and I feel like that's a testament to Geonosis's gameplay, we have not seen Jerry get a go mode at all. We have not seen any go mode. I don't even think we've seen Terry on the stage while they're in go. So I feel like he's been dying sub 100, and there we go. Okay,
I think he heard you and be like, good point, I should use. But yeah, definitely you were right. A lot of the last match he was in go mode, but Geonosis just did not give him a chance to use it. So now this is kind of prime opportunity to try to use your Buster Wolf or Power Geyser. One of those will help, but now not gonna happen.
Yeah, Bowser definitely like to go for that empty land side B, right? A move that comes out so fast. very hard to react to. And yeah, I'm just liking the patience by Genosis too. Just letting Jerry come to them, getting a lot of these out of shield punishes, even some of these up smashes that we saw earlier, just punishing Jerry really hard for autopiloting a little bit. Oh no!
Oh, and that's something Geonosis can do to you to seal game number 1 here, match number 1 for Wichita State. The Shockers getting their first win against Fairfield, and Geonosis really setting the tone here.
Yeah, and that's the thing that happens with get up attacks sometimes, especially when coming back from the ledge. There's like this weird reverse hitbox at the end of the get up attack that like it happens to every character. And they do the get up attack, they swing, and sometimes if you're at that ledge while somebody's doing a get up attack, you get hit. Right? And if you're not ready for that, you're gonna get stage spike. Like who's gonna get ready to get hit by an attack that's set up like in front of them? That doesn't make any sense. But it happens, and yeah, I mean Genosis with the wherewithal to do that.
For sure. Basically, with this stage here, the game plan, from what it looks like, was to just keep Terry off the stage, because Terry doesn't really have the best recovery horizontally, but either and this stage 2 was a pretty good wide stage here for him not to recover very well.
Yeah, it was really just the recoveries, right? And getting back to stage, like you said, just the upbees were not spaced the greatest sometimes, right? Especially when trying to recover horizontally, it seemed like Bowser kind of had all those options covered, made Terry recover low almost every single time because of that, and even half the time they recover low, they're getting punished for it heavy anyway. So good stuff, good stuff, and we can see Wichita State taking that quick 6-0 lead.
For sure. And it looks like N-City is coming in for Wichita State, and a casual coming in for Fairfield. That's their name. I'm definitely not trash talking Fairfield here. Just a casual is the name of a player.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, we're all casuals, aren't we? We're all trying to play the game and have some fun. So
I like to consider myself the greatest casual of all time in the game of Smash. That's why I commentate and not playing in these games. Plus I graduated college, so I can't really participate in collegiate esports anymore.
Hey, I mean, there's always grad school, bro.
There you go. Yeah. If I had the money for that.
You have to game the system somehow.
Exactly. Exactly, for sure. Gotta work on that esports scholarship right there.
Yeah.
And let's take a look at some bands here. Battlefield for Fairfield and Final Destination in Town for WSU. Those are the bands. So it looks up, and it's going to be Smashville for Fairfield's choice. So this is going to be pretty good. And I believe N-City for Wichita State is a Mega Man player. And I've said that like the previous 2 times I've commentated on Wichita State. So, for 3, it's Palutena. Palutena. Well, hey, my boy King DDD. That's my main right there.
Yeah. Yeah, on Smashville, this is actually be pretty rough for DDD, especially if the Palutena player can establish themselves in neutral. But DDD is also a character that, can hit pretty hard, right? You make the wrong move, you can lose stock pretty quickly, especially on the stage like Smashville, smaller stage.
And it's actually Lenny that's the Mega Man player for Wichita State. I remember that. I just get those 2 confused all the time. Yeah. Why are you doing? Okay, that's why you're doing that. That's why you're doing.
Yeah. So that move is like the biggest bait, mostly because that move does have super armor on it, and when it's fully charged up, and a lot of people panic and try to jump over it when in reality you could just it's a very comes out like it's like a frame 20 move or something like that, so it's very slow. But it is a crazy bait.
Yep, anytime I'm playing online as DDD and I use that move, it's literally I walk up, it's against people with counters, see if like I just walk up to them and try to bait that counter, just get them to use it, and then wait until it's finished,
Hmm.
and then just use it. That's my method with it. It's worked a handful of times.
Yeah, but
Worked
man,
against a little bit.
oh yeah, but it's such an intimidating thing too, also. But with that being said, once again, charging that and yeah, NC doing the wise option, teleporting back to stage. DDD cannot react to that.
Gotta be careful with that super jump. That can take out a pretty good amount of shield, and Casual loses their first stock here. And City with 121 for Wichita State, but moving quickly already.
Yeah, you're gonna get a lot of easy combos off of Palu against DDD. And yeah, using that inhale, and throwing them back out just to disorient them a little bit, which something that DDD players do a lot. Just a quick thing to do, even though it won't really net you a true combo, it's definitely positional advantage. And A Casual took that to the bank.
Absolutely, and now we're seeing NCity trying to use whatever they can to try to even things out, close up some range. One thing we need to see, I haven't really seen, anytime the Gordos come out, you know, all NCity has to do is just hit those Gordos and then go right back to DDD, which really gives a good advantage, but Casual, not going to let that happen here.
Yeah, and you know, and that's the thing, right? So the thing about Gordo is that Gordo, you have to hit the move with a move what is it, stronger than 2%, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thing about it is like certain multi-hit moves when you throw it out won't immediately hit Gordo back at them. So something like Palatine and Nair won't immediately hit the Gordo back. So you have to do something like a forward air or a back air. All right. And you have to be ready. You have to be ready for that. I mean, Gordo is a slow move. And in situations like that, when you're at the ledge, and you have to pick an option, that's the one situation where DDD is very good at the ledge with the Gordo charging up an attack, and you have to make a decision very quickly.
Indeed. There's that down smash attack. King DDD, such a great zoning tool and a great option for a kill right there, and that's what's gonna be for the final stock here.
And one thing to note in that situation, that when DD's charging up its down smash, he lifts up his foot a little bit, right? So if you saw when Palutena did that get up attack, I actually just missed DDD because his foot was up in that stance, and then got whiff punched by the down smash attack. So something like that is definitely it's something you need to know against a character like DDD, because like the get up attack in most situations would work, but in that situation you kind of just got punished for it. So man, pretty tough stuff.
For sure. And now we're here at Carlos. Looks like trying to inhale the blasters from Palutena. The bans from Fairfield were Battlefield, Yoshi's Island, and Lilac Cruise. So I think a pretty solid stage pick here for Carlos for really both characters.
Yeah, and Kalos as a stage, although it does give you more space, it is a stage where you can ledge trap pretty heavily if you're a character that has those options. You can camp out on that top platform, make it very hard for people to get past you, even if they are, and have them maybe trapped on that top platform while you're at the ledge.
Yeah, we already see NC trying to use those trappings tools that Palutena has in the kit. Here comes the Jet Hammer again, and got in the Jet Hammer.
Yeah, and one thing about that too is that it does hit below the ledge. So you actually just can't hang on the ledge if you're thinking why doesn't he just hang at the ledge? Can't hang at the ledge because it does hit below the ledge. So, but you need to just kind of dash out the corner, and because it's like I said, it's a slow move. It's actually frame 10, so it's a very slow move. So yeah, but that intimidation factor.
Sure. Also, King DDD is also the third heaviest character in Smash Bros. Or Smash Ultimate, that is. So definitely just not as heavy as Bowser.
Oh
King Donkey Kong.
God. Oh my
Another.
God.
Honestly, couldn't do it better myself.
Yeah, and yeah. What can you say? What can you say about that?
Weren't you making fun of me before when I told you I was a King DDD man?
I look. People
Not,
make their own decisions in life. Some people decide to be DDD mains. Some people decide to get hit by Jet Hammer. So
I guess so. I will say, casual, way better than me as DDD.
yeah.
We also have another DDD player that I know of in the EGFC. That is Cuffy with St. Peter. So shout out to him. He's also a pretty solid DDD player. We need to make that movement popular again.
Yeah, and you know, and you know, respect to a casual, because one thing that he is recognizing that N City is overreacting to the Jet Hammer. So if you already know N City is going to overreact to the Jet Hammer, why not throw it out if you know that you're going to get N City to make an option, take an approach, right? So good on a casual by recognizing that.
And try to teleport behind DDD and just not able to get behind him. So a casual turns out to be a pro here as Fairfield gets on the board 5-6.
Look, okay, so that is the definition of emotional advantage, because the only reason, if you're Palutena, he did not throw Gordo out, he did not charge Jet Hammer. Just the thought in their mind that DDD is about to do something to me told them I need to get off the ledge now, and they just got forward smashed. Like that's what you call conditioning. That is literally the definition of conditioning.
Absolutely. Yeah, just a lot of the movesets from DDD as like they're pretty so unexpected. Like literally just not even fully charged there on that Jet Hammer. And just able to, yeah, not quite sure what to do there, you know.
That was 100% fair.
My goodness. And then just right here, trying to get behind. I mean, you know what you're trying to do, but like, it just wasn't ready for, yeah, you know. King DDD's cracked. That's just all I have to say right there.
Yeah, man.
Like it or not. But
and with that performance, we have a 6-5 game, and you know, in a situation like we saw previously, right, in a previous game that we previous two schools that we saw, that having an early lead is very important, right? Like getting off to a fast start is very important, but you also don't want to be the team that gets down in that hole. So good stuff on Fairfield for not getting it down into whatever hole that could have opened up and just keeping it close, and now we have an actual game.
Absolutely. And now we're gonna bring in Heath with Fairfield and Lenny for us. Lenny's Mega Man. Don't at me. I'm pretty sure that is the truth. Heath, I'm not quite sure who he mains here.
Yeah, don't worry, bro. We're not keeping count. It's okay.
That's okay. Yeah, not a competition whatsoever.
Right. Yeah, I mean, hopefully we do see a Mega Man. I feel like Mega Man is a character in the meta, in general, that we haven't been seeing too much of, even though it's kind of universally agreed upon that Mega Man's like a really good character in this game. So, you know, and I feel like he's kind of like a niche character, where he's another character that doesn't really function like a general Smash character, where the way his jabs and tilts work. But it's just when you do get a player that knows how to use that character, you can definitely see the strengths of that character.
Yeah, and definitely Lenny is one of the better Mega Man players that I've seen, just kind of really using a vast array of all what he has in Mega Man's little tool belt, basically. Main great move, obviously, like I think of at first, is that leaf shield. Definitely just able to like keep away, just to space out, give yourself some great spacing, and then use it as a projectile. So it is going to be Mega Man, and it's also high-speed Joker. So this is the second Joker first Joker we're seeing now for Fairfield, but they do have 3 Jokers on their roster.
Yeah. Yeah, and wow, and already Lenny.
Oh, didn't even
Oh,
spike.
yeah, going really aggressive, but Heath, yeah, SDing. So, yeah, I mean, Lenny, already up by a considerable amount. And you know, early SDs like that can really do one thing: is either kick yourself into gear, or you're gonna make yourself go into a very deep hole. So right now, I feel like Heath needs to stop the bleeding because Lenny does not care.
Absolutely. Really though, you just gotta try to get in as close as you can to Lenny, because all it is range for
Yeah.
Lenny, and there's also the back air that's also gonna be pretty big pain in the butt, as we just saw another stock taken from Heath, and now a 3-1 lead for Wichita State, and only 60% damage.
You know, and the thing is, like, sometimes when you're trying to fight back, right, maybe aggressively recovering sometimes isn't really the best, because that kind of costed Heath their stock. Mostly because Lenny was just going deep with forward air and back air, and, like, they just tried to fight their way back, and you can't fight your way back against disjoints like that.
And obviously Lenny's definitely can be right here at a 3 with 3 stocks in the lead. You can be as aggressive as you want. Probably gonna see him try to get one of those spikes, as we saw him try twice already. Loses that first stock finally, but still got a respectable percent damage and a quick little back air.
Yeah, JV3, you know, can't be pressing buttons like that off stage. And they kept, you know, like I was saying, you know, Lenny's out there being very aggressive on these edge guard opportunities. And you throwing out buttons randomly like that and recklessly, you're leaving yourself open for him to go out and back air, because Mega Man, all things considered, has one of the best back airs when it comes to edge guarding in the game. So that's something you need to watch out for. You kind of need to, you know, maybe go lower, dip lower, recover a little bit more conservatively in the future, because right now it's just not working out.
Absolutely. It was definitely, you know, that back air factor that really just kind of separated the game there from Lenny and Heath. And obviously that early SD was kind of another thing for Heath, even though it looked like he might have been trying to avoid the spike on that SD, but either way, works out for Lenny either way.
Yeah. And if I'm Heath in the situation, right, I'm definitely gonna reevaluate how I'm recovering. Another thing, we didn't really see them get much started when in terms of offense, in this game, right? Like, regardless of the SD, even when they did get their opportunities in neutral, we didn't really see much openings for them, right? It was almost immediately they got hit. Arsene comes out, get maybe 2 hits, and they lost their stock, right? You know, maybe when it goes the next game, we get a little bit more continuity. When it comes to Joker play, maybe we might see a different character.
We might, yeah, absolutely. Looks like the second stage we're gonna see is PS2, almost at PlayStation 2. Literally happens every week. I promise you, every week.
I'm glad. Trust me, it's not just you. In my head, I always say, PlayStation 2.
I know. And it's gonna be Kirby for Heath's character switch, so definitely a floatier character for in terms of recovery. But yeah, and also we got that inhale to absorb some of those projectiles Mega Man's got at you. But so far, you know, Lenny's not getting a lick, and I spoke too soon.
Yeah, and the thing about Kirby's another character that he excels in fighting up close, but it seems like Lenny is not interested in letting Heath fight up close in this instance.
Yeah. Oh, and the spike coming in. Only the ledge was there to stop it from being a highlight play. Gives a little toss, and that back air once again, and Lenny with 21% and 3 stocks looks still in very much control of it.
Yeah, and once again, is Heath recovering high, and like I said, might want to start considering finding a way to recover a little bit lower because Lenny has the read on these jumps and he's scouting them out almost every single time.
Now all of a sudden Lenny's sitting at 103%. Looks like he's starting to gain a little bit of momentum and takes stock from Lenny. So now 2 apiece with only 47 for Heath. Pretty solid position.
Yeah, spot dodge down smash, and that's one of Kirby's strengths. You saw Lenny in like trying to brawl with Kirby, and then you got hit with a spot dodge down smash. And I think right now, if Lenny keeps going on like this, trying to get in with Leaf Shield, they're gonna lose this game. Because like even though they're racking up a lot of percentage right now, I feel like Kirby's a character that can explode. You know what? Forget every percent. Good job, Lenny.
Oh my goodness. Little Shoryuken mixing Street Fighter, and then at the end mixing a little bit of Halo and Call of Duty action. Oh, and trying to get him with the trying to pull a fast one. Not gonna work.
Yeah, yeah, Lenny mashed out pretty well. Because the thing about that is, if you don't mash out enough and jump at the same time, you could actually get footstooled by Kirby. So that's good stuff there, Lenny.
Read that pretty well. Trying to go for that back air, not gonna happen. Oh my goodness, that could have ended both ways pretty badly. This is gonna be hard for Lenny to recover. No, it's gonna be pretty effortless. Never mind.
Yeah, saving that jump. This game.
That blaster.
That's game. Yeah. Yeah, like just it's almost every single time that they're recovering high, they got punished like that, and Lenny punished hard almost every single time. Like every single high recovery, either lost stock, considerable emotional damage, considerable percent damage. Everything was going wrong every time they got rid with their jumps, and yeah, man, that's great stuff all around by Lenny.
Absolutely, just able to read the situation, able to adjust character change from Heath. I mean, really just, also reading, also just keeping composure too, like as we saw from Kirby trying to pull the fast one, trying to put Lenny under the stage, making sure he can't recover. Just excellent patience, excellent control, just getting back on stage. So, definitely, This is why Lenny's one of the best Mega Man players we see.
Yeah, and like you said, that was great composure, because there was a period of time where Heath was kind of in his face doing a lot of these things, right? You know, it looked like Heath might have got a little bit momentum after taking that stock, and Lenny just shut all of that down almost immediately, right? With the up tilt, taking that stock early, and just put that to bed. So that was, just great. Yeah, just great composure coming out from Lenny.
Absolutely. And now we're going to see T-Nulls for Fairfield go up against There It Is for Wichita State. And so first off, the bands are so far Final Destination, Smashville, and Battlefield. So the stage pick is going to be Town and City.
Yeah, Town and City. And I'm not sure. Do we know what characters There It Is plays?
I really want to say one of the Links.
Okay.
I was wrong the last time, so take that with a grain of salt.
Oh.
And T-Nulls, maybe this is I honestly don't know. I want to say Captain, but I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Yeah, you're right.
Yep,
yeah,
so it's gonna be There It Is as Link, and then Joker for who was it? T-Nulls.
Yeah.
And right now we're seeing There It Is with only 25 and climbing in terms of getting the poison from Joker. Arsene already coming out 43%. So far, a pretty kind of an even game for the most part. Just both players so far throwing haymakers at each other, although Link gets up to 88 and just waiting to use that bomb, but the bomb just flies off stage. Oh, and then you can use that.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, there it is for Wichita State. Yeah, man, just like punishing that recovery again. And starting out pretty strong, and pressuring a lot with that nair. The link nair, man. It has to be like one of the god buttons in the game. It's insane.
It's very, if you're the opposing player, it's very frustrating to go up against. Oh, and a shield break for T-Nulls, and taking out. There it is. So now it's 2-2.
Yeah. Yeah, and T-Nulls, okay. You know, working on these combos, right? Saw a drag down combo there, using that counter preemptively, but didn't see a punish from there it is, but like, you know, looks like a little bit of momentum coming out, and I feel like every time I say something, the opposing player gets smoked, so but definitely like a lot of momentum, a lot of energy coming out from T-Nulls right now.
Absolutely. 117, 58 for these players in terms of damage percentage, and then T-Nulls. Oh, and the spike not quite able to kill T-Nulls, but a very great move to combo it. Arsene able to take out. There it is.
Yeah, and Arsene, man, yeah, big bro Arsene coming in for the clutch, and now T-Nulls, yeah, taking control of this game, and now it's up to there it is to figure out this stock right now, because ooh, and their reverse up B, yeah, caught him reaching a little bit too hard, and if you know anything about Link, that move can drag you in from deep. Okay.
Oh yeah, it's quite deadly. And now pretty much 57-34, just only a roughly 20, now make that 30% gap between these two players here. Just throwing the projectiles and all that. Arsene coming out for T-Nulls.
Wow, and great counter by T-Nulls reacting to that bomb. And this now if there it is can get through this Arsene, he's in a very good place, and oh my god.
Oh, the bomb's gonna not gonna happen. T-Nulls runs away with stock number 1 and game 1 in match number 3.
Yeah, and like I was saying, and, you know, and that's a situation where you kind of need to, you know, just look at the landscape at that point, right? You see that T-Nulls is towards the end of Arsene, just maybe back off a little bit, right? Because they literally got hit towards the end of that Arsene. That was almost the last little bit of Arsene. Got countered, got sent all the way off stage, and he flew off the stage with Arsene down guns. Like, what are you gonna do about that? And then, you lost your stock, man. And yeah, and that's the dangers of Big Bro Arsene and T-Nulls just taking that to the bank.
Absolutely, this game was, for the most part, pretty back and forth, and then just at the end, T-Nulls starts to catch a little bit of heat and able to gain a little bit of control. You know, that's a great classic move to try to recover with your bomb, and I think T-Nulls knew very well that that was going to happen. He just had the right tool to make sure he doesn't recover.
That down guns was disgusting. That was like, because he just shot him a little bit, just a couple of shots, and just kept them in place and just completely stopped the momentum, and they couldn't do anything about it. That was really good. That was a really good recognition from T-Nulls too.
Now it's just all they needed too, really, just those few little mini guns right there. The stage pick is going to be Battlefield. The bands were Lilat, Yoshi, and Kalos, so we'll just run it straight to Battlefield.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and I feel like Battlefield for both characters, I feel like isn't too bad. You know, Link as a character who definitely excels on Battlefield, and Joker also kind of gets some good extensions off of Battlefield. If we've all seen those up air, the what is it called, the left obble, right? The up air conversions off of the platforms with Joker. So.
Oh my goodness, and already there it is, getting buried in a hole, losing a stock off the, again, was the down guns from Joker.
Yeah, I call that BGs, right? That's bad games. Because like that was those situations where it was a trade, and you probably didn't expect to get sent in that direction, and you just lost your stock, man. But good on Tino's for going out there and taking that chance. And right now, this early lead, they're having so much momentum, and there it is, just having a hard time keeping up right now.
A little bit of grab. Tino's really trying to put the pressure on the ledge. And
That
now
could've been-
Arsene coming out with 50% basically, and now it's 3 stocks to 1. And this is looking a little one-sided.
Yeah, and if Tino's can get this if Tino's can get this 3 stock, that'll be really good on the part of Fairfield. Oh my god.
Sheesh.
Well, on to the next
3 stock indeed.
That's a GG's no handshake if I ever seen one.
I have to agree right there. My goodness. I mean, what can you really say about that matchup? It looks like, just T-Nulls pretty much put the pedal on the gas and never let go. It was, my goodness, this is going by pretty quickly.
Yeah. That's the definition. That first stock is a definition of emotional advantage. 'Cause I feel like after that stock, there it is, seemed just a bit tilted, and it was just recovering, just trying to recover any way they can, and just T-Nulls was just on top of every single panic option, every single recovery option, just on point and just relentless, man.
Score is 11-12, and it's coming down to this last final match. This is gonna be great. Sleepy Joe for Wichita State and Ed for Fairfield University. So far, band number 1 is Final Destination for Wichita State. Looking to get those next couple bands here next.
So if my math is correct, right, we only saw 2 jokers. So the last player we should see should also be a joker, correct?
I mean, it's only fitting. I mean, I know, I believe Jerry was also a joker, but didn't bring him out. But honestly, it probably could be Joker if that is the case. I don't know if that's, yeah, I'm just not sure if like one of those players also, what's it called? Just has multiple mains, and Joker turns out to be one of them. But it could be, it could be Ed is the final Joker for, what's it called, for Fairfield. And speaking of Fairfield, they have banned Smashville as well as Town and City. We haven't seen PS2 for a little bit in this matchup.
Yeah, that's good. I feel like that's good for everybody's soul if we don't see PS2 picked at the start of every game. But but I think it also goes to show you that people are also thinking a bit deeper on these counter picks, especially with specific characters, and just going for more dynamic stages. Like we saw a Town and City start, right? Town and City in itself is a pretty dynamic stage because people can lose their stocks early because of the platforms on the side and the closure blast zones to the side. So, and it looks like, and it also looks like right now we're gonna start Battlefield. So once again, not another stage. It's not a PS2 start, and I feel like that's it's good to see that people are thinking out their counter picks and stage bans more.
Everyone pretty much we see people play PS2 almost every day, and it's a great stage. No knock on it whatsoever, but obviously you want to participate in some other stages too, just because PS2 is not a great stage for every single character. So you just gotta understand that there is other stages that work better for other characters, and you also want to master other stages too if your other characters, and just try to adapt as well.
Yeah, like for example, in that last game, PS2 is actually a very good Link stage, right? Link as a character could use projectiles very well and do that. And we're seeing so we're seeing Paramithra and Samus. So 2 characters that we've seen none of all day today.
Yep, first Pyramithra of the day, and then first Samus of the day. I believe this is the first Samus I've seen this season, actually. And Perfect time to come in at week number 5. So obviously, Joe in for Pyra and Mithra at Wichita State, while we have Ed as Samus for Fairfield. And right now, Pyra and Mithra, look at that, just great. You know, one of the new characters in there, I'm already assuming probably one of the best, kind of slowly becoming one of those better characters in all of Smash.
Oh, you know, but Pyra Mithra is definitely a menace of a character. Mostly because Mithra, you know, people talk about Pyra's strength, but Mithra's speed is the reason why this character is such a problem, because she can punish you almost at any part of the stage, and if you could whiff an attack from mid-stage and she's already in your face with a dash attack, right? And I feel like in a matchup like this, like we've already been seeing so far, that you know, Joe can break space with Pyra and get behind Samus with ease.
Trying to use the Prominence Revolt, but the platform's just blocking the path. And a good little charge shot to try to take him out, but it's gonna cost him. And it didn't look like it was worth it that much.
Yeah, SD, and Samus taking that stock, right? Having a lot of work to do, and I feel like we've seen only what, about one charge shot off so far. I feel like, you know, we need to see a bit more activity come out from the side of Ed.
Absolutely. I think right there for Joe would have been a great time to switch over to Mithra while Ed was kind of over off the edge to use the up B from Mithra, but that almost sealed the deal. Pyra,
You know,
really.
Yeah, and I'm really liking how Sleepy Joe is playing this mid-range game with Pyra, and just we're seeing a lot of Blazing Edge. And the thing about it is, like, you know, you see Samus trying to charge their charge shot and shoot some missiles, and you see Sleepy Joe about 2 character lengths away distance at bay to keep Samus at bay from shooting those charge shots, and it's really hard for Samus to get any type of offense started in this way.
And Joe really putting pressure on the edge and taking that while having 2 stocks to spare. So Wichita State are now up 14-11, and Ed's gonna really need a 3 stock to tie this up here. Wichita State just needs one more win and the series is theirs.
Yeah, and Fairfield really needs to step it up, because that 2 stock was pretty that's pretty devastating, right? When it comes from a point standpoint. Not devastating, but, like, you know, it's significant from a point standpoint. And one thing I did notice is just, like, they're having a lot of trouble in the mid range, and, you know, usually, you know, we see the burst options from Mithra. This is really good. And we see a lot of a mid-range action coming from Pyra instead of Mithra in this instance, right? Making Samus afraid of charging a charge shot, right? Trading with charge shots with side B from Pyra. It's stuff that you don't really see Samus struggle with, and right now, just completely running that side of the game, and just having Samus have a hard time with that.
Mm-hmm. And just to be clear, Fairfield, they can, if they win with only 1 stock, that's still enough to survive Game 3. They don't absolutely need a tie to stay alive. I think I said that wrong, but yeah, obviously, you know, just Samus definitely really wasn't, like, didn't have a lot of answers for Pyra, and Pyra is a pretty hard character to kill, with being the heavier out of the 2. I believe is now kind of one of the heavier characters now. I don't know. I need to look that up again. So last time I checked, I think she was up there, but I have to fact check myself constantly. So that's how
that's why that ultimate frame data.
Heck yeah. It's also how I passed college too. Just fact checking myself. All right, and a fitting way to go is PS2 here, finally bringing that out after a while. And we're seeing Mithra in for a little bit, and now already switched back to Pyra, trying to get some heavy damage, and all of a sudden we're seeing a little bit more distance from Ed and already trying to find those openings to get through to Joe.
Yeah, yeah, starting off a lot better than last time, right? I feel like at this point in the last game, we saw Sleepy Joe off to a much better lead. But no, and this is the part where it's going to be hard for Samus, right? When you have Pyro putting you in the air and you having to find a way to land.
Yeah, and also Mithra from the skies is pretty hard to beat when guarding the ledge. As we saw right there, as Joe takes that first stock, but sitting at 97%.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's hard, man. And got that footstool, again, even off stage. I don't think I've ever seen that one before. Wow, yeah, and just reading that roll in with the neutral B, and it's just, Sleepy Joe has all these options covered with Pyro. But, Ed trying to fight back a little bit with some more charge shots, which I think is definitely needed, but I feel like, might be a little bit too late at this point.
Sure, there's that flaming edge, and really, Joe's trying to find a way, not gonna get there as Ed takes the stock. Now we're seeing a switch over to Mithra. Now already back to Pyro after a good 2-second appearance from Mithra.
Yeah, and every single time Samus in the corner, immediately throwing out that blazing edge, just to make sure Samus doesn't get any charge shots off, right? Because right now Samus just have a fully charged charge shot and can't even meet its mark right now.
And it's looking like that blazing edge was really just clearing out the charge shot too, not able to make anything happen. And Joe, after respawning and taking Ed's stock, didn't even take any damage.
Yeah, that actually was a 0 to death, right? Like that was almost a ledge trap to death, but man, good stuff coming out from Sleepy Joe, just controlling the pace of this game.
35 apiece, now Ed's at 44. Seeing a little bit more Mithra here, and now as I keep saying that, already switches to Pyro. Definitely Pyro's been the more dominant character between Pyro and Mithra in this matchup, at least, seeing her being more used.
Yeah, and I feel like sometimes when we see Pyro Mithra, we usually see the changes occur because of just the kill percents. But I feel like with Sleepy Joe, it's more due to stage positioning, because almost every time Samus is at the ledge, we see almost exclusively the Pyro once they get Samus off stage.
Second footstool, but the screw attack coming in twice now. The second one missed though. That was kind of a dangerous move, and that could be it, and it is, and a clean. That was pretty quick.
Yeah, and for the record, Pyra is the same weight as Dr. Mario.
Okay, so not super heavy, but
not super, but midweight, not bad.
Midweight, hits like a truck though.
Oh yeah,
we'll say that. Yeah, but either way, Wichita State's gonna run away with this victory, 18-11, and it was the clinchingness of Sleepy Joe at the very end with Pyra and Mithra, but it was mostly Pyra along the way.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, yeah, just dominant. It's just mostly dominance at the ledge, and it was just very hard for Ed to get any offense started, because it literally seemed like for most of the game they were at the ledge just trying to fight their way out. Between, and like we were saying earlier, between the blazing edge actually eating the charge shots that weren't fully charged, and that was actually disgusting, that switch to dodge the up B. Yeah, but between the blazing edge just eating up the charge shots, the non-fully charged charge shots, and the missiles just being kind of nullified by the side B, also, it was just very hard to fight your way at the corner in that.
Absolutely, just a lot of arsenal from both Pyra and Mithra to just go up against, and I think just Samus also a little bit slower than the Pyra Mithra combo. Just couldn't quite find an answer to even things out here. But either way, Wichita State will celebrate, and then Fairfield will regroup next week. But with that, we're gonna shoot to a break and possibly get a quick interview here. So stick around once again, and we'll hear from one of the Wichita State players. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and we are back. We are joined by the captain of Wichita State, Geonosis. Geonosis, congrats on the win, my guy.
Thanks.
All right, so let's just dive into this real quick. Going up against Fairfield, a pretty decent school. What was the game plan coming into this match?
Well, we didn't really know any of their players beforehand, so we were kind of just going in trying to implement our own strategy. We just kind of sent in our players and adapted as we went.
Yeah. So during the matches, did you feel like that there were, you said that you kind of just dived in, right? Was there any apprehension when it came to like, maybe changing up your strategy mid match, or like something that happened, middle, like towards the middle end of some of these games?
I know after game one of a lot of our sets, we took some time to talk with our coach, and a lot of us other players gave a lot of tips, and that was really helpful. Personally, definitely felt like I was really well suited for game two. So I think, just kind of improvising after the first game really helped.
Mm-hmm. And with the lineup, pretty much with your guys' lineup, it looks like it was pretty back and forth with Fairfield, and then it just came to game 5 with Sleepy Joe at the very end. What can you tell me about like his play and how he was able to just close it out at the end to give you guys the win?
Yeah, he's really solid. It's funny because a lot of the times we normally start with him, but this time he was the anchor. So, yeah, he came in and finished it off really well, and we were tied going into that. So, yeah, he's really consistent. He's really aggressive and gets in your face, and that worked really well against the Samus. So.
So moving forward, do you think you could implement certain strategies or have any changes? Something you saw today that you didn't like?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of ways we can keep improving. I think, just continuing to get used to online and take from it what we can, and just get better as we go. I think just keep getting better.
Awesome. And just to wrap this up, is there anybody you would like to shout out here on live EGF, Twitch, EGF2, something like that? Anyone you want to shout out? So.
No, I mean just Wichita in general. We have a really good scene here, so just the whole scene.
Awesome. Well, Geonosis, thank you so much for joining us, and good luck to you guys next week.
All right, thanks, guys.
Awesome. All right, and we got one more match coming up at around 7:50 Eastern. But yeah, so you're gonna want to stick around. It's gonna be Colorado versus drumroll Canisius College. So pretty solid matchup right there. So we'll be back at 7:50 Eastern. Make sure you watch it there.